Hi there. We're continuing our progress through the Psalms, the Tehillim, the praises in Hebrew, and we're in Psalm 77. In the Hebrew letter numeral system, that's Ayin Zayin. Ayin is the letter numeral for 70, and Zayin is the numeral letter for 7. And this is superscribed as Lam Natseach to the chief musician. Here the chief musician is actually named Yedutun. Yedutun, who is one of the leaders of the music in David's sanctuary. And it's a psalm of Asaph. It's Mizmor Asaph. Asaph, again, the writer, we're told here, and a Mizmor, musical composition. So this is a song that's really saying, God, I'm in trouble. It feels like you're not there anymore, but I'm knowing that you have moved. I've seen you move. I know your story, and I'm looking to you to come through. So it begins by saying, I lifted up my voice to God. I cried to God, and actually he did listen to me. I know a God who has listened to me. And when I've been troubled in the past, I've cried out to the Lord. When I've even been full of trouble in the night, I've cried out to the Lord, and he's heard me. I listened, I remembered God when I was in trouble, and even when my spirit was being overcome. And then there's a pause, a Selah. There's a few pauses in this song, and the Selah again is this pause, this interlude. It may be a musical interlude where the musical instruments take over, and it just gives a moment for reflection to think about what's just been said. And then it says, you hold my eyes, you keep my eyes on you when I'm awake, and I'm so troubled I'm not even able to speak. But I thought about the things that you've done in the ancient days, in the time past. I think about my song in the night. I'm listening to my own heart. I'm making a search for you, God. It seems like you're far away, but I'm looking for you. And then there's this amazing question, God, have you forgotten us? Are you going to throw us off? Are you going to cast us off? Is your mercy gone forever? Is your hesed, your covenant grace, have you given up on it? And has your promise failed? God, have you forgotten to show favor to us? Have you been so angry with us that you've shut up your compassion, your rachamim, which is this visceral word? Have you decided to turn away your compassion? And then there's another Selah moment, this thinking about what we've just said. Can God really forget? But the music maybe crescendos here, and we're just thinking about the pain that there is in that feeling of God being far from us. But then he says, I will remember the years, I will remember the tales, the story, if you like, of the ages, the history of what God the Most High has done. And I will remember the things he's acted on, and I will remember the wonderful things he's done. Of course, the story of the Exodus, the story of deliverance from Israel. I will meditate on your work and talk of the things you've done. And your way, God, the place where you are, God, is in your holy place. I can be sure of finding you there. And who is so great as our God? Mi'el ka'Eloheinu. Who is so great as our God? Who is like you, Lord God? And you are the God who does wonderful things. You've redeemed your people. Ga'al ta'amecha. That means Ga'al is this verb that is used meaning to buy back. You have bought back your people. We talk a lot about redemption, and Messiah Jesus bringing redemption for us. And here he's saying, God, you have redeemed your people. You have redeemed the sons of Jacob and Joseph. And remember the stories of those needing different kinds of salvation and rescue. Yaakov needing to be rescued from his brother. Joseph being rescued from the fury of his brothers. So there's a picture there of God redeeming even in the darkest situations. And here again is another Selah moment, another just think about that. And then the singer thinks right back to the earliest times, the picture of the waters of chaos and God speaking into the waters of chaos, if you like, at creation, the waters that were above and the waters that were below. And when the waters heard God's voice, they were afraid, and they acted, they did something about it. The sky sent out a sound, your arrows went out. You were battling against chaos, God. And your way, it says, your way is in the sea, verse 19. That's a powerful thing. Your way is in the sea. Even when there's storms, even when there's chaos around, God, you make a way. Even though we can't see your footsteps. It reminds us of that amazing story, or stories, more than one, of Messiah, Jesus, walking on the waters in the midst of the storm. That recalls here, this Psalm 77 helps us, it may be recalled in those stories of Jesus walking on the water in the storm. His footsteps are in the sea, and also his speaking to the sea to calm it, that the sea is the picture of those waters. And of course the last verse talks about how God led his people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron and brought them through the waters of the Red Sea as well. So the outcome of this psalm is that we're thinking that even though the stormy waters are around us, even though we seem to be in a place of turmoil and upheaval, God has us in his hand. He is leading us because he's proven it again and again. In the midst of what seems a really stormy time, when we're in that storm, when we're being buffeted by waves, let's remember that God is walking through the storm with us. Even though his footsteps can't be seen, he is with us and holding our hand. Have a good day.